3 home runs for the Padres. Walker Buehler battles through 5 innings. The bullpen, great, except for Alek Jacob. Everybody else was incredible without Mason Miller tonight. And, man, the Padres survive Seattle 7-4. Take the first 2 from the M's. They've already won the Vetter Cup. And, man, that cold streak kind of seeming like a memory now with the Padres bats waking up. It was the bottom of the order with the 3 homers tonight. This is your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, and it starts right now.
This is the Padres Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What up, Friar Faithful? Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease with your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team, your pods every day. 2 in a row at Seattle. It's the bottom of the lineup tonight. It's Buehler battling. It's everyone in the bullpen except for Alek Jacob. And I'll tell you what, it was a nice win for the Padres tonight. And tonight's Postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers bet just $5, get $150 in bonus bets. If your first bet wins, head to FanDuel.com to get started. And just letting you know what happened here tonight, we get it rolling with your Postcast full speed ahead.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Nick Castellanos with a 3-run bomb changes the game. Buehler gritty, Gavin Sheets homered, and Duran with a homer tonight as well. We got a lot to talk about. The bullpen was really good except for one guy, as I mentioned, and it's just a big, big night for the Padres. I mean, a win is a win, right? You score 7 runs. They were up 7-2 at one point, you know. Nick Castellanos with a 3-run homer. Rodolfo Duran went deep for his first career hit. Imagine that, the catcher who got called up after this circuitous long route in his minor league career. And, of course, Gavin Sheets, I mentioned, connected as well for the Pods. And so Gavin Sheets been hitting a bunch of homers lately. Walker Buehler goes to 3-2, 2 runs in 5 innings. 5-0 for the Pods this season against their West Coast rival and their spring training neighbor in Peoria. I know it's Peoria, but I like to call it Peoria, Arizona. You know, the Vetter Cup, who he has ties to both cities, the Pearl Jam frontman, you know what I'm saying. I mean, San Diego versus Seattle. It doesn't even compare, right? But Duran, the 28-year-old catcher, 11 seasons in the minors, a 2-run shot in the 7th. And Logan Gilbert had a tough night for Seattle, 2-4 for him. But, man, it really was interesting in the 9th inning. Duran almost hit another homer. Julio Rodriguez robbed him, leaping up high over the wall. Sheets with a solo shot in the 2nd. Castellanos, 3rd homer of the season, made it 5-0. And really a nice night for the Padres overall. 5 relievers after Buehler. Jeremiah Estrada works the 9th and picks up his first save. And by the way, Lucas Giolito is going to make his debut tomorrow for the Padres. The Padres scored 7 runs on 7 hits, no errors, 4-8 and none for the Mariners, 1 in the 2nd, 4 in the 4th, 2 in the 7th for the Pods, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 8th for the Mariners. And Alek Jacob didn't get out of the inning, right? So Walker Buehler, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. Gilbert, 6 2/3, 5 hits, 7 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Estrada with the 1-inning pitch gave up a hit to pick up his first save. But when you look at the pitching for the Padres, man, no Mason Miller. Jason Adam came in early in this game tonight. So Buehler goes 5. Peralta goes a scoreless inning with a strikeout. Adam goes a scoreless inning with a strikeout. Then Alek Jacob comes in, and, man, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a walk, 11 pitches, did not record an out. The ERA is going to be monumental. That's 9 after that, right? And then Morejon comes in with a scoreless inning and a strikeout. And Estrada gives up a hit and a walk, makes the 9th interesting, but no runs allowed. So between Peralta and Adam and Morejon and Estrada, all of them pitching a scoreless inning. That's the Padres bullpen in full effect. But Alek, not so much for him. Meanwhile, the box score, Jackson Merrill 0 for 4, Fernando 0 for 3, Manny 0 for 3. Tonight, although Fernando and Manny each walked. Fernando was thrown out stealing with a 7-2 lead, and Manny scored after walking. But those 3 guys last night were 0 for 12, and tonight they're 0 for 10. So 0 for 22 for Merrill, Fernando, and Manny. and they still have won the first 2 games of this series, which is absolutely incredible if you think about it. You'd never guess that in a million years. Well, Sheets in the 4-hole hit the homer and walked twice. He reached base 3 times. It was a nice job by Sheets. Bogaerts was 1 for 4 with a run scored. Andujar 1 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. Castellanos 1 for 3 with a 3-run homer. Laureano was 1 for 4 with a run scored. By the way, Song was 1 for 1 as a pinch hitter for Castellanos, but Laureano 1 for 4 with the run scored all the way down in the 8-hole tonight. He had been leading off for a while, and then Duran got robbed of a second homer, but hit a 2-run homer. He was 1 for 4. They had 2 left on base, 3 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Big thing for the Padres pitching staff tonight, even though it was 7-4 and it got interesting late. You think about it, and they held the Mariners to 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position, which I thought was a really great job by the Padres. And, they've been really good at times. Their defense has been very, very solid. They haven't gotten anything from their stars. That's pretty much what it's been offensively. If they can get those 3 guys going, they're 27-18. Think about it. 27-18, this team right now. Without the stars giving you anything. Fernando still doesn't have a home run. Manny barely has any. Merrill's been doing nothing after last year doing nothing. And you got $800 million in these guys. They're literally a half game behind the Dodgers right now. And I don't know how. I really don't. They're 13-10 at home, which is crazy just to think that they're able to be what they are right now with what has happened with this team. Anyway, Buehler was good to start tonight. He was dealing to begin the game and had a little bit of trouble in the second inning. But top of the second, Padres get on the board first. Gavin Sheets leads off with a solo homer to right center, makes it 1-0. Then they go 1-2-3. After that, the Padres would add 4 runs in the 4th inning to take a 5-0 lead. And you're thinking, hey, this one's pretty much in the bag. Fernando hit it hard, lines out to short. Manny walks. Give Manny credit. He draws a lot of walks, man, even when he's not hitting. Sheets then walks, and Manny goes to second. Logan Gilbert having a tough time. He walks the second and third hitters of the inning after Fernando lines out. Then Bogey singles, and Manny had to stop at third, station to station. Base is loaded with 1 away, and this is when the Padres have really been struggling lately. So you're happy to see Andujar. He grounds out into a fielder's choice, scoring Manny. Bogaerts to second. Sheets was out at third. And then here comes Nick Castellanos, first and second. Had the big game-tying homer, of course, last week. And then here you go. Right now tonight, Nick Castellanos, a 400-foot bomb scoring bogey, and Andujar. It's 5-0, and you think you're cruising. Buehler in the bottom of the 4th gives up his first run. Young singling in Naylor, who had singled to lead off the inning, and Arozarena with a walk in between there and a fielder's choice also. Then in the bottom of the 5th, Crawford homers to right center, makes it 5-2. You're like, all right, it's 5-2. It's a solo shot. No big deal. You're in the bullpen. Then Duran homers to left center, scoring Laureano in the 7th, and it's 7-2 Padres, right? Adam comes in, ho-hum, done. And then the Padres don't score in the top of the 8th, had a little bit of a chance there, but then the bottom of the 8th comes in, and Alek Jacob comes in, gives up a single, gives up a stolen base, gives up a walk, gives up another stolen base, and then he gives up an infield single, and that scores Rodriguez. And then Morejon comes in, he gives up a run on a fielder's choice. So it wasn't that like Alek got ripped, but he got taken out without recording it out, and both runs got charged to him. But thankfully, they were able to stop the bleeding there, and it was 7-4. And then, top of the 9th, Duran gets robbed of a homer. It would have made it 8-4. But then in the bottom of the 9th, you get a line out, you get a walk and a single, first and second, 1 away, and you're only up 3, tying runs at the plate. And then Rodriguez grounds into a fielder's choice to third, and Naylor grounds out to first, and bada bing, bada boom. There you have it. It is all over. And the Padres win 5-0 against the Mariners this year, looking for the clean sweep tomorrow, right? Think about it, to go 6-0 against your spring training neighbors that played, really good baseball last year. And the Padres looking good. So nice job by San Diego to take the first 2 games of the series. I don't know when the hell these superstars are going to start hitting. I don't know when Merrill and Machado and Fernando, they're the dead weight. They are the dead weight on this team right now. And that's $800 million worth of dead weight. You might as well sink them in the bay right now. It's dead weight. If you'd have told me that these guys would have been so atrocious and you'd still be a half game out with a 13-10 home record, this team could really be, and people are talking about AJ Preller, this team could really be in a sweet spot right now if these 3 guys had given you anything. And it's really confounding to me that they haven't. All right, I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have the player of the game, the X Factor, who fudged up, second guess, turning point, all those things, and we get you ready for tomorrow. Giolito, hopefully somebody can do something in the back end of the rotation, although Buehler's been kind of straightening out a little bit lately, and that's nice to see. It's Grease, it's the Postcast. Keep it rolling on the Locked On Podcast Network right after these words. The NBA playoffs rolling right along, and every possession matters. If you're looking to get even closer to the action, FanDuel has a great offer to get you started. Right now, new customers, you bet $5, you get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right, you turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets just for getting started. I love using FanDuel during the playoffs because everything I need is right there in one place. I can check stats, trends, matchups before I make my picks. It makes the whole experience feel a lot more informed for you, me, and all of us. So whether you're looking at player props or just following your favorite stars, it adds another level of excitement to every game. It's a really easy app to navigate, and it makes playoff basketball even more exciting and engaging from start to finish. So head to FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel, play your game. On the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. If you've ever opened your bank account and thought, where did all my money go? You're not alone. Keeping track of subscription spending and bills can get overwhelming fast. That is where Rocket Money comes in, helping you take control of your finances all in one place. How, you ask? I'm glad you did. It tracks all your subscriptions in one spot and can help cancel the ones you don't need with just a few taps. It automatically categorizes your spending so you can actually see where your money's going, and you can set budgets, get alerts, and stay on top of upcoming bills. It just makes everything feel more organized and gives you a clearer picture of your finances day to day. Rocket Money, is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/lockedon. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedon for Rocket Money. And tonight's show is also brought to you by Indeed. Workplace chaos, deadlines stacking up, inbox overflowing, and the one position you have to fill still sitting open. When the pressure's on and you need the right hire, this is a job for Indeed-sponsored jobs. Indeed-sponsored jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for: skills, experience, location, those things. So you're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. And here's a stat that'll open your eyes. It says it all. In the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed-sponsored jobs. Spend less time searching, more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less time, less stress, more results. When you need the right person to cut through the chaos, this is a job for Indeed-sponsored jobs. And listeners of this show, you'll get a $75 credit, sponsored job credit, to help your job get the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed-sponsored jobs on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And let me tell you about the Everydayer Club here on the Locked On Podcast Network. How would you like free episodes of Locked On Padres with Javi Reyes day in and day out? How would you like a private Discord and a group chat with Javi and other listeners, viewers of the show? Tap the link in the show notes or go to lockedonpadres.supercast.com to join the Everydayer Club on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. All right, Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. At what point do we need to say one of those three needs to be sent down? I know it'll never happen, but man, when was the last game that all three of them got one hit in the same game? He's talking about Merrill and Fernando and Manny, who are now a combined 0 for 22 in this series. 0 for 10 tonight. Manny walked and got on base. Only one of them to get on base at all in this series. Fernando still hasn't homered. It's been brutal with those three. They've been the dead weight. Bottom of the order carried the team tonight, along with Sheets, who homered. Castellanos, a 3-run homer. Duran almost hit 2 homers. He got his first hit tonight after 11 years in the minors. His first hit's a homer. It's like a movie, right? And so there you go. But, man, Buehler grinded it out. The bullpen was great, minus Alek Jacob. They win the Vetter Cup. They're up 5-0 over the Mariners. on the season. And game 3 is tomorrow with Lucas Giolito. I mean, he was really good down the stretch last year in Boston. We'll see how he does for the Padres starting tomorrow. Can't be any worse than German Marquez was. Can't be any worse than the Waldron Cauldron. Buehler, so we'll see. You got to get something with Pivetta and Musgrove still out, man, and you're a half game out of first. And eventually you have to believe the law of averages will take over, and these 3 deadweight superstars will eventually start hitting the baseball. I mean, this is crazy when you think about it. All right, we got some things to do in a short period of time, starting with.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I have to say it was the 4-run 4th inning for the Padres against Logan Gilbert after Fernando lined out. Manny walks, and you give him the credit. I mean, at least he walked and scored. So Sheets walks, Manny goes to second. Bogaerts singles, bases loaded with 1 out. And Duhar grounds into a fielder's choice to third. Manny scores, Bogaerts to second. Sheets was out at third, so they could not turn the double play. Castellanos then rips the homer to make it 5-0. And right there is your turning point, because thank God it ended up being 7-4. They needed every bit of that to win tonight, which brings me to...
It's time to reveal who made the biggest under-the-radar impact with today's X Factor.
The X Factor is the bottom of the lineup, man. Bottom of the lineup was really good tonight. Castellanos in the 7-hole, the 3-run homer is big time homer for Castellanos. Laureano was good tonight, 1 for 4 with a run scored, and Duran with the homer, the 2-run shot, and he almost hit another one. So the bottom of the lineup, the X Factor for the Pods tonight, which leads me to...
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Shout out to Peralta, Adam, Morejon, and Estrada. They were all great, as always, in the bullpen, but I got to go Castellanos tonight. He's been big lately with the 3-run homer. That's the difference in the game. They won by 3, so Castellanos is our player of the game, and I hate to do this, but...
Uh-oh, somebody messed up, and it's time to let them know with who fudged up.
It's like Jay-Z. What more can I say? Jackson Merrill 0 for 4, Fernando 0 for 3, Manny 0 for 3, 0 for 10 tonight, 0 for 12 last night, doing absolutely nothing. But thank God the rest of the guys are carrying them. They're only a half game out of first, and that is crazy when you think about it, man, with those guys 0 for 22 in the first 2 games of this series, and you don't even want me to go deeper on those numbers. By the way, the series finale is tomorrow at 4:20. On a Sunday. Lucas Giolito making his first start of the season, the right-hander. A lot of anticipation for that with the Pods against George Kirby. 5-2 with a 2.84 for the Mariners, who are looking to win 1 against the Padres. And that will be tomorrow at 4:20. We'll be here right after the game with your postcast. And I really appreciate you for tuning in, watching, and listening to tonight's Locked On Padres, latest episode of your Padres postcast. Make sure you subscribe and follow Locked On Padres. You get all the latest episodes with Javi, social media as well. Javi Peño, shout out to my dude. If you never miss an episode, the Everydayer Club is built for you, right? You get the Locked On Padres episodes ad-free. You get the members-only Discord with Javi Hobbs and more. Just head to this link, lockedonpadres.supercast.com. And you will be there. You get hooked up with a lot more stuff, too. You can check it out while you're there. For those of you on video, we send you to the first ever 24/7 National Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. On audio, for your second listen, go check out the Locked On MLB. All right, that's going to do it from me. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. The Padres win 7-4. 2 games to none in the series. Giolito tomorrow. Maybe the stars will start hitting and everything will start aligning. If it feels like a magical season, these guys get going, they could carry the team. Keep your game tight and your mind right, as always. Thank you to all the sponsors. Thank you to everybody at the network who makes this possible. David Locke right on down. And thank you, the greatest fans in the world, for making us the #1 sports podcast network, the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team, your pods, your Friars, faithful every single day. We'll see you tomorrow. Make it a great night.